All right, folks. So today we're sitting here with Derek from Johnny Hexburg Hot Sauces. Now, Derek came across my radar a while ago. He was commenting on some of our Facebook posts, and he's exporting, based in Cape Town, and they make this awesome range of hot sauces, and they're exporting all over the world, and they're now starting to come into Canada as well. So I haven't actually tasted one of their hot sauces yet. I just love the branding. And a little story. So I reached out to Derek and I said, thought we'll have a quick chat. How's it, Derek?
How's it, buddy? How are you?
Lekker, man. No complaints. So, Derek, I want to ask a couple of questions, find out a little bit more about Johnny Hexburg.
Absolutely.
When did you start? I mean, when did you officially launch? How long have you been around?
We've started officially in 2016. And yeah, it was basically before that, 2015, I was selling a brand from Stellenbosch called Eric Todd. And it was only 4 different types. And that was at the Lawrenceford Wine Estate.
Okay.
And we had so many people asking us, out of the 4 flavors that you're reselling, don't you have different flavors? Can't you give me this? Can't you make me this? And my wife and I thought, you know what, we do have a culinary actually background, from sauces to restaurants to food costs to all that kind of stuff. Why not try our hand at this? And when we did, I made one sauce. My first sauce was called Ringsting, believe it or not, because I couldn't think of a name.
I love the name.
Typical South African, you know.
Yeah.
And the first weekend that we launched it, every single bottle sold out. So I said, right, there's something happening here. Obviously, it's about the flavors and tastes of what we like.
Yeah.
And we made another one, and it expanded over the years since 2016 up to 70 different types of hot sauces.
Okay, lekker, man. Okay, so Ringsting was your first. I love it. That's such a South African name, though. Hey, that's like I think a lot of people in the world doesn't get the humor, but anyway, it's freaking awesome. Cool. So, lekker, you say you've got a bit of a history in the culinary background. You and your wife.
Yes.
You've been in the restaurant business and things like that
for a long time. Before all of this took place, we've been married now for 25 years. And when we had first met, the wife was actually in the flying squad for actually 15 years in the flying squad. And, and because she loves to study, she was offered a job for the Canadian Mounties, believe it or not. And she turned that down because we just got married. Okay. And for myself, I was actually in the industry where I was manager, ops manager, a kitchen manager. From there, I worked over to the sauce side of things, from there to the pass, to making the meats, to the whole 9 yards. And flavors and tastes has always been my passion for something different. Because you know what, when you see what you see in Shakers and Pick and Pay, you want something that stands out above the rest. And our whole determination was about giving the public something they've never tasted. Once they've tasted it, they're going to want more. And all natural, obviously, all natural, no hidden preservatives.
Yeah. That's the next question. So you're making, this is all from Cape Town. You're making it local. You're pulling the peppers and everything from farms there, or do you have your own farm? How do you?
When we first started in the beginning, I would say we started growing our peppers in the backyard, believe it or not, because our backyard was actually pretty big. But the demand for the sauce is moving so quickly, especially at the markets, I wasn't able to keep up. And because we belong to so many groups on social media who actually grow peppers, and the commercial market as well, we reached out to them and said, listen, can you grow for me these certain types of peppers on a much bigger scale? And be organized that you contract farmers. So from that to contract farmers to local guys who were growing, and the emails just kept on coming. I've got space in my back. I've got 2 hectares. I can grow for you. What do you need? And so we ended up actually giving back to our community as well. But the difference is, being in Cape Town, we had to grow in KZN because of the climate. Over here, you have to do hydroponics and aquaponics because we get 4 seasons in one day. The peppers, you can't take those extreme heats and changing of temperatures. And up in KZN, it grows there like an absolute weed because of the tropical environment.
Yes.
And we were having the stock sent even down today. 2 farms in KZN and 1 in actually Wellington, and the stock gets sent to us to our house, gets hand cleaned, it gets hand processed, hand cooked, hand bottled, hand labeled, hand everything.
Wow, that's amazing, man.
And
No,
now we go through almost 1.5 tons of peppers a year.
whoa, that's a serious, that's a serious
And
amount of peppers. Okay,
also deep freezes.
okay. So now the thing is, you you're distributing globally. I mean,
Yeah.
how's your global? How did you get into the global market so quickly, or why did you decide to go direct global?
The most amazing part about it is we never wanted to go global in the beginning because we kept it local all to Cape Town. And we were actually based at Heartburg Market now for 9 years. And we had so many of the tourist industry from Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Czechoslovakia, Sweden, UK. They all come down to Cape Town because Cape Town is the place to be,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
in South Africa. And the tourists who I spoke to across on my other side of the table said to me, listen, I own stores in Sweden. I want to resell your product. And I was like, okay. And we spoke and nothing really happened. And then actually COVID hit. When COVID hit, we received so many emails from different parts of the world saying, I can't leave here or come to you like I do every single year. I want to sell your products. Can you send me wholesale prices and a catalog? Can you find out about the laws, about the label and how it must be laid out from barcodes to the right food port health authorities? I have to change everything to suit them. And that's how it started. And from then, it started from the UK first, from the UK to Sweden. They made to change all of our labels into Swedish, and
Oh,
then Germany, and then everything is all in German. Then from there to Czechoslovakia, everything was in Czech. So each country has their own language on the bottle. It's
wow.
funny.
Yeah, it's nuts. I must say the food importing business is an interesting one where because
Very.
everybody's got their own little stupid rules and regulations that like don't actually align worldwide.
Yeah.
But you are also FDA approved, if I'm correct,
We
right?
are the only handcrafted company in South Africa, hand artisan craft company who is on the FDA register, and we can supply America with absolute ease. We had to go through 800 pages of criteria right down to our label, had our products tested, paid for all of that, worked all of our school fees, and we got accepted.
Oh,
And it's been the
man.
biggest achievement, I'd say, in our company because all of our friends in America emailed us and said, I have a cottage company. I live here. I'm not FDA approved. I can't. How do you do it in a third world country? Fantastic. Well done to you. So, yeah.
That's amazing. Maybe you should start a consulting firm out to get like FDA approved.
I tell you, it was my wife who had the patience, the knowledge, and the terminology to sit with these people from 1 o'clock in the morning until 4 o'clock in the morning, speaking to them. Because when they send you an email, you need to answer immediately. Otherwise, it goes another 24 hours, you
Yeah.
know. So,
No, I think you touched on one very important thing there. Whenever you immigrate or deal with other countries or sell stuff on Amazon or all of that, patience. That's the word. That's a very, very
absolutely.
important thing because if you don't have
Absolutely.
patience, you're never going to get it right?
No. It takes a lot of work, a lot of reading, a lot of research. You obviously have to have an attorney as well to go through all the right channels. And, you've got to make sure that each country actually, you meet their high levels of expectations when it comes to health and safety. So
Yeah.
to go through all of that is a lot of paperwork.
Okay, cool. Now, the next question, Derek. Canada. You said
Mm,
you've got somebody in Canada that's already buying the sauces, and you are in discussions with some other companies
yeah.
in Canada. Have you gone through the thing? Because I know over here you need to have French on the label and all kinds of other crap. Are you approved, or are you still busy working your way
The
through it?
biggest issue criteria though for Canada has been their barcodes. All of our wording is everything correct on the labels because our stock's there already. We were initially sending stock from our distributor in Massachusetts right through across the border into Okanagan. I think it's Okanagan, or how you say it.
Yeah.
Okanagan, yeah, it's a weird name. So we, being in the chili industry, we have catered for every hot sauce shop and chili shop, sorry, around the world. But it's the SAFA people who said, we've been down there. We live in Montreal. We live in Quebec. How do I get your products? Now I'm sending these people now to Dylan, who owns Beyond Hot Sauce in Okanagan. They order from him and he ships everywhere else. I've tried to get him to go to some of the events, which is suffer based for their braais and get together for their brandies and cokes and their ball ones and their cream sodas and those kind of things. But him not being a South African, it's hard for him to fit in. So he said to me, I'm sure you can speak to somebody else over here who can. So I did speak to Leon from Aubergine Foods. I'll be seeing him next month, the 25th, I think, or 24th of next month. He's coming down to Durban for 5 days and then down to Cape. But I mean, the doors are open for everybody. So, our product, it can get there. It's a case of having buyers on that side, because I can't send any more from Massachusetts anymore from a distributor. So now you'll have to order them directly from us over here, or through IOEC, or through Sapro International.
Okay. Well, just on that note, there's actually an event coming up in the Okanagan in Kelowna, a Safa Day. It costs $50 for a little booth. And it's a get together of South Africans and everything. So that might be worth looking into, to maybe lay out a quick $50 and have the sauce, because it's right there, close to the hot sauce guy. So, have people, because, sorry guys, I think I just need to also clarify something. While the main thing is hot sauces, Johnny Hexburg also makes a lot of rubs and a lot of traditional South African flavor infused spices and stuff, right, Derek?
We do a lot of things. Sort of to give you a quick little rundown, we do the hottest chocolates, the hottest sweets, the 1-chip challenge, 3-chip challenge, all the crazy stuff that you see on YouTube and you see on Hot Ones in America. We make all of those. Then we do the classic mustards, maruga mustard, some garlic mayonnaise, chipotle mayonnaise, some chili jam, smoked habanero chutney, fruit chutney, bacon chili jam, biltong chili crisp. We do it all.
That sounds really interesting.
Even salad dressing. So yeah.
Okay, well, that's really cool, man. Okay, yeah, so that might be something worth looking at. I'll send you a link and you can go check it out. Maybe you can get somebody or get the guy to go out there and set it up, or alternatively find somebody else if you need.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. Thank you.
Right. Okay, we were talking about the South African flavors and traditions. Do you have any like regional flavors, traditions and stuff that you include into your hot sauces and spices? I mean, are you just making like freaking Tabasco sauce, or are you making them typically South African, some of them?
We are doing it basically based upon the cultures here in the Cape. There's a lot of Cape Malay over here. So there's a lot of Indian spices. There's a lot of garam masalas, smoked paprikas, a lot of flavors which most Europeans love those flavors and crave those flavors, because it magnifies the flavors in your foods. For argument's sake, our dhania or coriander is made fresh, but the flavor profile supersedes 99.9% of all the coriander sauces out there. Then we do a caramelized onion, where you can taste the flavor, which pairs that with chicken kebabs and chicken societies. It pairs well with cream and shiitake mushrooms. On the South African side, we've kept things like our Mozambican peri-peri with the original recipe with our own twist to make it actually unique. Then we do a savory biltong, obviously that we export as well, because everyone knows our savory biltong is fantastic though with the spices. So we only use the spice and no meat because of export reasons. But the difference is though, is the name savory biltong will always be better than a beef jerky. I mean, let's face it, in America. Then our chakalaka, which is our still to this day is our national sauce, because it's only made of vegetables. So we keep to the authentic roots, even down to our hot peri-peri or the pili-pili or bird's eye chili. We grow it ourselves, but the flavors that we enhance with it, we've got our masalas in there. We've got smoked paprikas in there. We have our garlics in there. We have our herbs and spices in there. So it isn't just a case of and it's got a sweet undertone and tinge and slightly smoked as well. So those type of dishes, if you look at those type of sauces compared to your commercial stuff, because everything is made of artificial flavorants, you don't get the same actual explosion of flavors in your mouth. That's what. Yeah.
That's interesting. I remember. Look, I like hot sauces and stuff. So over here, I often buy. They have these you get like 10 or 20. It's a little sample pack with a bunch of different ones. And the flavors, I don't know. The guys, they tend to it just burns the shit out of you, and it doesn't have flavor, which is a problem sometimes. The thing is, I remember the best chili that I ever ate. Now, I don't know if it was just babalas or whatever, but anyway, I was in Punta de Ouro in Mozambique. So when you mentioned Mozambican peri-peri, the hotel there, I had breakfast, and they had like a homemade chili sauce, which was it was hot, but it had so much flavor. It was so, that was in my life. I mean, I'm talking in my 20s, and I was extremely over. So maybe it was that. But the thing is, it was some of the best chili sauce that I ever had. And that's something that I do think over here. So oftentimes the flavors are not strong. It's just, it just burns you, which is not
Exactly. And my biggest thing is you've got to actually have a sauce that's going to complement your meat, your protein, your macaroni and cheese, your pork spare ribs. It's got to actually take your next dish up to the next level. In other words, if somebody makes a shit steak and you put a good sauce in it, it's going to magnify the steak and it's going to be amazing,
Yeah.
And that's how I've worked it. If I give a steak like a Mozambican peri peri, flavor profile will be lemon first, then umami, which is savory, then creamy and an undertone of burn. So that now a crayfish, prawns, langoustine, steak, rump, fitted sirloin, every single one pairs with unique dishes.
Oh, okay, now you've got me. Now my mouth is watering. I don't know. You shouldn't have done this so early. Okay, so another question, mate. So I love the sauces. I love the idea. You've got a wide range out of South Africa. That's amazing. Johnny Hexburg. How did you come up with that name?
The most amazing part of it all is we had only had the one child, and after 25 years of marriage, I was sort of picky. I just wanted one, you know.
Yeah.
But over the years, over his younger years, he got so lonely because our family has brothers and sisters and the whole nine yards, and he was spoiled with everything, but lonely. And we got him an Army Joe guy, which basically a GI Joe guy type of
Yeah.
thing. And his outdoor life was outdoors. He was into fishing, horse riding, and his idol was Bear Grylls. And he called his GI Joe man his imaginary friend, Johnny Hexburg. That's where the name came from. So when you see the bottle of hot sauce, there's a small little photo on the right-hand side of the label, which is his face and not mine, because that's the history origins behind the name.
Oh, wow. So it was your kid's
Yes.
childhood imaginary
It was
friend.
my son, yes. My youngest son, who's now she's 16.
Wow. That's
So it's a
amazing.
hot sauce actually with a story behind it.
That is so cool. All right, next part of it. I must say, I like the Mexican skulls and stuff. How did you, what made you decide to go with that?
When we sat down and thought long and hard about it, the great origins of the most unique flavor profiles, spices, and unique mixes we found actually originated from Mexico. And that history behind celebrating at the Day of the Dead, I could go from a mild to absolutely extreme. So we do have a Day of the Dead, actually coffin box, which is the very last sauce that we do, which is actually a tincture. It is so hot that you only need one drop and you will see Jesus within 10 minutes. That's how it is. It was made specifically so when you're making a hot dish and you've got a 5 liter pot, but you don't want to change the flavor, but you want to add the heat, one drop for every 10 liters or every
Oh
five
my
liters.
gosh, that
Entirely up to
sounds
you.
extreme, man.
And that's how the whole origins of the skulls came in and the colors and celebrating. It's got a lot to do with family. It's got to do with a lot of celebrating their previous life. And also over and above of that, it's got to do with the origins of spice.
Nice.
So we made sure our stuff's unique.
So, which is two questions? Which is your favorite sauce, and which
Yeah.
is the one that you sell the most of?
It's a very difficult question, especially when you're supplying as many Asian countries as what we do. In the mild range, I would definitely say our dhania, our coriander, our creamy garlic and caramelized onion is well received across the globe. My favorite sauce, I'd say in the medium range, would definitely be our black pepper. That sounds so silly because you sort of commercialized in your head by thinking black pepper is black pepper. But when you taste our profile, it's different. Black pepper will be lemon first, then the black pepper, which is basically ground by us. So all those natural flavors and oils actually come out of it. Then from there, you get a creamy base, which is not overpowering, but the pepper lingo stays there. And even when you have a burp after your meal, half an hour later, you still taste the black pepper all over again. That's how
Oh,
unique it is.
lekker, man.
So, there's so many. I mean, the hot range would definitely be our garlic ghost pepper. It's probably the biggest seller across the globe. It's our garlic ghost pepper. Because the garlic that's in there and how we make it, it complements any kind of dish from pizza to burger to steak to calamari to slop chips to macaroni and cheese to a rump. It complements everything.
Oh wow. Well, that sounds absolutely amazing. And Well, I would assume the guys out here in the Okanagan, they don't carry the whole range. I mean, it
The
sounds like,
range is too big. Yeah.
yeah,
Unfortunately, the range is too big, but there's a nice small selection of your mild, your medium, and hot as well. The meat rubs, again, on the other hand, are completely different because we've actually made spices that actually complement any kind of dish you're doing. It also tells you what to pair it with at the back of your actual tin as well. You see, our packaging actually comes in a tin.
yeah,
Most people in the States have everything in plastic. So we try and stay away from the plastic and actually keep the tin, because when it's done, you can actually reuse it up for something else.
yeah. And
But,
your branding lives a lot, lives on in the house, which is a great idea, of course.
yeah,
Brilliant.
absolutely.
Well done. Okay, Derek, this is awesome, dude. Thanks for the chat. I think we've covered a lot of it. It sounds really
Absolute pleasure,
interesting.
my friend.
I'm going to have to try and get my hands on some of your sauces so I can taste them.
Oh, absolutely.
And then people want to get a hold of you. I'll put the email address in the description. So anybody that wants to have a chat to you about maybe exporting to wherever they are. Yeah, anything else you would like us to know or tell us?
Well, for us on this side, the best part about our company is being a multi-purpose company. If you want to have your own brand, we do private label for America, we do private label for the UK, and we do private label for Australia. So if you want your own brand, we can do private label on any of our products as well. Over and above of that, we can send you through wholesale prices as well as a catalog for you to actually look and see the products firsthand. And if you want to have lifestyle actually photographs, add me to WhatsApp and I can send you through lifestyle images, like I send you on your phone, and you can see it
Man.
with a different eye.
Okay, so you do white label if somebody wants to do
Absolutely.
their
Yeah.
own sauces with their own flavor profiles, you can add to it. That's very interesting. I'm sure there might be a few people interested in that. All right, man. Absolutely wonderful having you on the call, Derek.
My good friend, it has been nothing but a pleasure to talk to you and to talk to another expat. It almost feels like we're family. It doesn't make a difference. Once a South African, always a South African, right?
That's the way it is, man. That's the way it is. All right,
Fantastic.
bud. Have a good
Have
one.
yourself a wonderful day. Thanks, mate. Cheers, Ed. Bye.
Okay, lekker.